Online lecture 4. If you have watched my previous video, in that video I discussed some basic techniques how to write a good introduction in IELTS essay. In today's lecture I will go further and we will discuss a sample essay. Here is the topic. I will read it loud. Some people think it's better to choose friends who always have the same opinion as them. Others believe it's good to have friends who sometimes disagree with them. And it's a type of essay in which the examiner has asked, discuss both views and give your opinion. You know, like in IELTS essay, you have different, mostly it's argumentative, but in argumentative, you have different types. Like the ending statement could be, do you agree or disagree? There are advantages or disadvantages, or discuss both views and give your opinion. When you are asked about discuss both views and give your opinion, in that one you have to discuss both views, and at the end, in the conclusion paragraph or in the before that, you have to give your opinion and then conclude the whole essay. So I'm sure you have written it. I'll read it one more time. Some people think it's better to choose friends who always have the same opinion as them. Others believe that it's good to have friends who sometimes disagree with them. It's others, is actually. Others, I'm sorry, it's not this. Other people believe it's good to have friends who who sometimes disagree with them. So I'll rub it and we'll start with the introduction. So, as I said in my last lecture, that introduction and conclusion is the most important part in IELTS writing task 2. Okay, so now we're writing an introduction for this essay. So, introduction. How to write a good introduction. So let's start. As I said, first line in introduction is always a neutral statement. So how to, in this kind of essay, how to write a neutral statement? Okay, first sentence. This is a neutral statement. This is one type of neutral statement. I'll write another neutral statement. This is I'm not writing a complete introduction. This is like when we are writing an essay, everyone has his own writing style. So first line is neutral statement. This is one neutral statement. You can either write like this. Neutral statements. Different people have different opinions. Or just to add another line, like first one, the people in our surrounding could have different views, different people have different opinions about different things. Or third line, which I could think of, is like people does not always agree on everything. So it's all these are neutral statements. So you have to start your introduction with a neutral statement. Line number 2 in the introduction. Which is paraphrase the statement. I have told before that what is paraphrasing. Paraphrase the statement means writing the same thing in your own words. So in this one, paraphrase the statement. So we have, some people think it's better to choose friends who always have the same opinion as them. Other people believe it's good to have friends who sometimes disagree with them. So let's paraphrase it. I'm sure all of you have written it on your notebooks, so it will be easy to paraphrase. So let's start. As you see, I have paraphrase. In paraphrase doesn't mean like all the words would be changed, but you have to change the structure, add some synonym. So some people think that it's good for friends to have the same opinion, while there are others who think it's alright for friends to differ their views, or for friends to have different views, or friends to have different views from each other. So this is how you paraphrase. You have to change the structure. Not all the words could be changed, but you have to change the way it's written. Still, some words could be same. That's why in my initial lectures, when I said you have to increase your word limit by at least 20 more. Like for example, you have the limit is minimum is 250, so you have to write minimum 270. So in case you have written some words from here, let's say 10 words or 20 words, in that case you will be safe. You will be playing in the safe margin, and you will be fulfilling the word limit. So be careful when you are doing that. But paraphrase it in any ways you have to paraphrase. Even if some words are similar, it's not a big thing. Just try to paraphrase as much as you can. But don't paraphrase up to the extent that you are totally changing the sense. It's more important to have the same sense than paraphrasing. So paraphrase, but up to a certain limit. Sentence 3 in the introduction is normally your opinion. Not complete opinion. Complete opinion you would give in the conclusion section. So in your body paragraphs, concluding it in the conclusion, you will give your complete opinion. But in the introduction, you would tell, like you would slightly give your opinion, so the reader would know where you are tilting towards. So I personally think, in my opinion, as far as I think, you can say anything. I personally believe, or I personally think, you can write anything. I personally think it is good if or something. It is good if friends have their own opinion, or have different opinions sometimes. One thing, I personally think that it is good if friends have different opinions sometimes. Or you can say, I personally think that friends should always have the same opinion. Again, it depends where you are tilting towards. But in the body paragraphs, as the requirement of this essay, that you have to discuss both views. So in this case, in body paragraphs, you will discuss one view in one paragraph, other view in the other paragraph, or one view in two paragraphs if you are writing three body paragraphs. So you will discuss one view in one body paragraph, other view in two other body paragraphs, or one view in one paragraph and one view in another body paragraph, and then you will give your opinion in conclusion. But this is the ending statement of introduction, and like you have to give your slight opinion. I personally think that is good for it is good if friends have different opinions sometimes, or you can if you like have different opinion, you can say, I personally think, or I believe that friends should always have the same opinion. It's totally up to you where you are tilting towards. I've just given you my opinion. Then comes the body paragraphs. So I'm assuming that we would have two body paragraphs in this. It's just like, it's sample, so we can go with two for now. So in the first body paragraph, you will let's say you want to go in favor. So you would write I will just discuss the introduction line, then you have to go further by yourself. let's say first is I'm agreeing that friends should have the same opinion. So okay, so it's just the first line of body paragraph 1. People who believe that friends should have the same opinion have strong views. Or you can also write like people who believe that friends should think same. Like it's up to you how you want to write. This is your point, and now you have to like further elaborate your point by explaining. So this is your point, that people who believe that friends should have the same opinion have strong views. Have strong views, or that you can end here. Okay.